ஆலயம் சரணாலயம் சரணாலயம் அருள் தரும் சரணாலயம் ஸ்ரீ மகாபெரியவா அருள் தரும் சரணாலயம் குரு பூஜையினால் வரவே அருளும் சரணாலயம் சரணாலயம் சரணாலயம்.
हर हर शंकर जय जय शंकर Shri Mahapiriva Charanam. Many of us realize God when we get engulfed by troubles and problems. These are the times when we get that very opportunity to strengthen our faith in that omniscient. As this faith deepens, we realize that God promises to bring good from the storms of devastation in our lives. He reminds us in His words that there is great gain when we face painful times, as difficult as it may be. But it is easy to live through these times. It's never been an easy ordeal. No one wishes for hard times in life. No one asks for sufferings or storms. No one longs to wade through deep rivers of hurt, rejection, and pain. Instead, we all yearn to find our way out of the darkness of confusion and doubt. Our storms might look different in this life, but they all offer the very opportunity to change us forever for good. God takes what seems tragic and devastating to turn it around for good. Although it may not happen or transpire as quickly as we did like it to be, it may feel like a struggle, finding ourselves longing for another way out. But remember, blessing will come from it, definitely, for it's the way God works. The good will definitely shine through. Well, today's episode revolves around Srimati Arthi, who, despite being grappled by unfavorable circumstances in her life, felt completely blessed to unexpectedly meet GR Mama alongside her Guru Pooja miracles that led one after another. Srimati Arthi has narrated the incidences beautifully, that it would capture each and every soul in no time. Though outwardly we feel we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So it's important we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is just temporary or transient, but what is unseen is actually eternal. Har Har Shankara Jai Jai Shankar Shri Mahapiriva Charanam.
Shri Guru Pooja Namaha. This is my experience with Mahapiriva. The journey that has taken me to experience miracles in my life that I haven't had before. My experience is in 3 phases. The first one, to reach GR. The second one, where my daughter said God is there. And the third one, of Guru Pooja. Let me share all with you so that you come to know that such a great force is still existing with us without our knowledge and guidance. This is my experience of meeting GR Mama. One of my colleagues had directed me to do Guru Pooja, and she told me that she'd be giving me email ID where I can send in my query. When I approached her to share the email ID with me, she was in a hurry and she said, "You just browse the net and you'll get all the information." I was little taken aback. Following that, I reached home, and in the evening, seated with my husband, we tried to look for Guru Pooja details on web, where we got to know about GR Mama and also about this website perivaarul.com. On that website, there was an email shared to send in our queries. But when my husband sent the mail bounced back. It was a kind of rejection for me, who was already rejected by the circumstances I was facing. And in that website, there were many people who had shared their experience of Guru Puja. While going through them, I came across one of the miracles experienced by Mrs. Uma of Bombay, who had shared her mobile number as well. Immediately when I called her, she said, "Why don't you go to Nanganallur and go to a place called R.R. Hall, where there are many miracles still." With no second thought, I and my husband started for Nanganallur. And the moment we reached there, at the gate of R.R. Hall, both of us got Mysore Pak in our hand. But I was so confused and anxious. I was not bothered about what came in my hand, but I wanted to meet GR Mama back. While looking here and there, when I turned left, I saw serene Murti of Mahabir. When I looked at him, tears were uncontrolled. I just went round him doing my pradakshina and crying my heart out. And next to that was a small office room where a lady was seated. I asked her whether GR Mama will come here. For that she said there are many people coming and asking for him, but he doesn't come. And she told me, "You've already got Mysore Pak. You've got your prayers answered. You can do this puja by keeping Mahaperiva's photo and telling his Ashtoka." I was clueless about Ashtoka. She said, "You go to a nearby bookshop and ask for the book, they will be happy." As luck would have it, I could not get it in Giri Trading Agency. I didn't want to give up. I went to the next shop, and when I talked about the book, Periva Ashtokam, he said, "Ma'am, it is out of print now." I did not know what to do. I requested the shopkeeper to bring down the pile of books, promising him that I'll help him to put it back on the shelf. And trust me, my first miracle happened there. There was only one book available. And when the book came into my hands, I felt half of the load lifted off my head. But still I wanted to look for Gianna. I was not satisfied. I went out. I inquired with a flower seller. She said, "You go to Raghavendra Madam. They will tell you about Gianna." When we entered Raghavendra Madam in Nanganallur, there was nobody outside the madam. Inside also, no one was able to guide us where GR Mama will be. But when we came out, there were two gentlemen standing and talking. When my husband inquired with them, they said, "Yes, GR Mama is very much here in Nanganallur, near Independence Day Park." And we started our journey. But when we reached there, we were told that he had just closed his office and went home. That was near the lift of his building, again two gentlemen. I did not know what to do. I said, "Can we go up and meet him?" For that the gentleman replied, "You may try. Maybe he'll ask you to come tomorrow." And when we went up to his house, second miracle, Mama was standing right in front of the door. And when we asked his name, he politely called us inside, and we were seated in front of him. Within a span of half an hour before, I did not know GR Mama. I never knew where he was. But at 7 o'clock, we were seated in front of him in his house, sharing our concerns. This is my first experience first miracle where Periva guided me to meet GR Mama. After meeting GR Mama, he said that he will get us permission for Guru Puja, but it is not necessary that everyone will get. Only if you get permission, you will be able to perform Guru Puja. So with the satisfaction of meeting him and sharing my concerns with him, I felt half of my burden lifted off. And on my way back home, I was little worried because my daughter, after doing puja and telling shlokas, was not able to get the job. And she said, Ma, even God is not ready to help me. I don't believe God is helping me. I can do Guru Puja, but how can I tell my child to do something that she doesn't believe in? Was a confusion at the back of my mind. As luck would have it, and with the blessings of Mahaperiva, we got the permission to do Guru Puja the same week, and I started. The first miracle happened on the day of Guru Puja with me. In the morning when I was preparing to start my puja, I felt my house scented with the smell of vibhuti, something that I had not experienced any other time in my life. And it later struck me that maybe Mahaperiva himself visited my house. That was a very, very divine experience. With tears in my eyes and concerns in my heart, I performed the puja. And the same Saturday, I called my daughter. She didn't pick the phone. And later when she called, she said, Amma, I have lit the lamp and I have done the puja. Now what is this? Yes, this is the miracle, the first miracle that Periva showed it to me. That my child, I am there for you, don't you know? And the next week, after Guru Puja, I got a call from my daughter. She said, Mom, I nearly escaped a flight accident. My heart missed a beat. And when I inquired, she said she had been to Mississippi to meet one of her college friends. And on her way back, she was late to board the flight. She requested the ground staff to board, but they refused. And after some time, a ground staff personnel came and he said, what is the matter? And then she said, I need to board the flight because I need to go back. And while they were having the conversation, the flight started on the runway. And on the runway, the flight caught fire. My daughter was killed. Fortunately, no one was injured in that accident. But immediately she had called me and she said, Amma, God is there, Mom. Today I am saved because of that. I saw the flight burning. I don't know what would have happened to me had I been inside the flight. I really thank Mahaperiva for being there with my child and saving her life and making her believe that God is there. What else is this if this is not a miracle? This is indeed a miracle. I want everyone to experience this. Now I am going to share my experience where Mahaperiva answered my prayers. I started my Guru Puja, and in the third week of my Guru Puja, my daughter called and told me that, Amma, I have got a job. It is a contractual job. I'll do it because I want to prove that I can work. All my friends have got a job. Here I am, after studying so hard, unable to get a good job. But still, I'm going to prove my mettle. And then I got a call from my nephew telling me, Arthi, you know, Kirtika performed very well in the interview. I was a little surprised We hadn't told anyone about the interview. How come he knew? Then came the biggest surprise of all. He was there in the interview panel, and when he saw her name, he knew that it was his cousin. The interview had spanned 1 hour long, and she was grilled. And he said, "Trust me, Arthi, she was fabulous. And she has got the job." What more could a mother ask for? I had visited GR Mama 3 weeks back, saying that my daughter was about to experience depression, but she is not able to land up in a job. And 3 weeks later, I experienced this miracle. I experienced it in such a nice way that somebody known to me I had completely forgotten about. That person had told me that my daughter is going to work with him in his company. Now, what is it if it is not a miracle? How can I say that miracles don't happen? They do happen. Not only in Satyug but also in Kali. It's just that we have to completely surrender to him. Tell him that he is going to take hold of all your life, all the problems and worries. Today, as I sit here, I'm very calm, I'm very composed because I know there is somebody who is taking care of my child who is miles and miles away from me. Mahaperiva Sharanam, Shri Guru Namah. Let his light, let his miracles spread all over the world. Let everyone experience his presence in their lives. Mahaperiva Sharanam.